I leaned into Caroline right before she said everything, and I was like, oh God, what if she says coffee?
I pulled my thing up and said, I hope we all thought about this before we agreed on tea.
But there's like two kinds of people in the world. Like, you can't predict.
An all-new Bachelor in Paradise, Monday.
Now, Southern California's news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Hey, you can't do that!
Now at 11, a shooting involving immigration agents in San Bernardino. Video shows a window being shattered shortly before the gunfire. We'll get to that story in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Jory Rand. But first, several immigration raids taking place today in Anaheim. This one at a car wash, another at a Home Depot. A man was taken near Euclid Car Wash at Euclid near La Palma Avenue. This is the third time this car wash has seen federal agent activity since early July. Several men were taken from a nearby Home Depot on Brookhurst Street. There have been a number of raids at that location as well. People opposing President Trump's immigration policy protesting today's actions.
Patrol your neighborhood and establish a base by your Home Depot, because Trump's not going to stop anytime soon. We can vote as much as we can, but we're not going to vote this type of culture away. It's all a reflection of what Trump's administration wants to do to the working class. I encourage everyone to go start a hub by your Home Depot and be vigilant of who's there.
The city of Anaheim says it is not involved in federal immigration enforcement and is not notified about any operations.
New at 11, dramatic video showing a big rig car carrier catching fire on the 5 freeway in Sylmar. Yeah, take a look. Shutting down all southbound lanes for hours. Several Teslas were on the truck at the time. The fire started around 5:35 tonight, just north of Balboa Boulevard. It took almost 4 hours to put out all the flames. The driver was able to get out safely. Crews say they had to shut down all lanes due to toxic smoke from the fire. The truck route lanes on the 5 and 14 are still closed.
And in Glendora, 10 people injured after a violent 3-car crash on the 210 freeway. 6 of those people were rushed to the hospital in critical condition, including a child. This is video posted to the Citizen app. This happened just before 7 tonight on the westbound 210 at Lone Hill Avenue. The cause of this crash now under investigation.
New video showing the terrifying moments a car plows straight into a home in Downey. Video showing debris flying as the car slams into the family home. One woman is dead and another seriously hurt.
Eyewitness News reporter Elena Gomez joining us live from Downey tonight with the latest on the investigation. Elena.
Yeah, tonight we've seen family and friends visiting this home throughout the afternoon, and now you can see the aftermath after that car crashed into that home. The walls boarded up there. After that crash, it killed a 73-year-old woman and a 24-year-old woman was injured. Tonight, surveillance video from neighbors shows the moments that a 24-year-old driver from Maywood drove straight into a Downey family's home around 2:30 this morning. Downey police say a 73-year-old woman was killed and a 24-year-old woman was taken to a trauma center for her injuries after that crash. All of this happened in the 9500 block of Gallatin Road in Downey, a street that dead ends into a cul-de-sac. Video captured early this morning shows a car completely inside that house with debris on top of it. You can see several emergency responders arriving to help. The home is now boarded up to cover that large hole that the driver created. A neighbor shared this video of the driver's car being pulled from the house and then towed away, showing the car's front bumper totally smashed in. And police tell us that that driver was not injured after the crash, but he was taken into custody for driving under the influence. In Downey, Elena Gomez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Elena, thank you. A vandalism investigation is underway in the city of Bell after a string of incidents involving someone throwing bags of dog feces at an LGBTQ+ youth center. Investigators say it's happened multiple times at Misila over the past several months. LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn has announced she will give the center a grant of $2,500 to upgrade the security cameras as police search for whoever is responsible. At this point, police are not investigating this as a hate crime. The Latino Equality Alliance has released a statement saying, in part, they are calling in our neighbors, city leaders, and all members of the Bell community to stand together, speak out, and make clear that attacks on LGBTQ+ youth, their spaces, and their safety will never be tolerated. Every young person deserves to feel safe, supported, and celebrated in their community.
Developing tonight, President Trump inviting European leaders to join his meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday afternoon. This comes, of course, after the president's historic summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska Friday amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. Today, Putin telling Kremlin officials the summit was, quote, timely and very useful. President Trump saying on social media today the best way to move forward is to go directly to a peace agreement. That did not happen at the summit. Meantime, the Ukrainian Air Force reporting Russia has attacked the country overnight with more ballistic missiles and 85 drones.
Now back to that story on the shooting involving immigration agents. Tonight, we're hearing from one of the people inside that vehicle when it happened.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions about what led up to this shooting. Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz is in San Bernardino with the latest.
Martin says he was working with his father-in-law and 18-year-old son-in-law this morning when their vehicle was suddenly surrounded by unmarked cars and masked men.
They hopped out with their pistols already drawn. Then they proceeded to ask us to lower the window and open the doors.
Martin stresses they asked, but masked agents did not identify themselves. They stay in the locked car as agents insist they come out. Moments later, they shatter 2 windows.
Hey, you can't do that! Once the glasses were shattered, my father-in-law feared for his life from his perspective, and so I guess the car was already in drive, so he drove the vehicle away from where those agents were at.
3 gunshots can be heard.
Thank God the bullets didn't go through the truck. They just got stuck into the door. But they were aimed at my brother-in-law, who was in the passenger front.
The family sought the help of San Bernardino police, who arrived at their home.
We made a report with them. They told us FBI wasn't going to contact with us.
They say instead it turned into an hours-long standoff with several federal agencies showing up at their home. They say this officer seen pulling out a weapon during the vehicle stop is the same person who fired the gunshots.
He said, or that he didn't shoot, sorry, that those 3 shots were him tapping on the glass. But we have bullet holes in the side of the vehicle now.
The Department of Homeland Security released a statement saying in part that during a vehicle stop, a subject refused to exit his vehicle and tried to run CBP officers down, saying he struck 2 officers with his vehicle, and that one officer had to discharge his firearm in self-defense. The video we reviewed does not show the driver trying to run the officers down. The agency did not answer our questions about why the driver was stopped or whether the agents had an administrative or judicial warrant. Community groups are calling for accountability.
It seems there's to be like a lot of impunity, and this might be again one of the cases where we can bring forward to courts and say this is what's happening, right? When you let loose an administration and an agency to just basically create their own rules.
Annabelle Munoz, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Annabelle, thank you. Hundreds of Air Canada employees formed picket lines outside major Canadian airports hours after unionized flight attendants walked off the job amid contract disputes centering on wages. The union is seeking compensation for time spent on the ground between flights and during boarding. Canada's government ordered the flight attendants back to work and into arbitration, but they refused to do so. The strike forcing Canada's largest airline to suspend the majority of its 700 daily flights. Meanwhile, flights out of LAX are being impacted by the Air Canada flight attendant strike. So far, 12 Air Canada flights have been canceled. Today, the Air Canada terminal appeared to get progressively emptier at LAX. We spoke to passengers. Some didn't know their flight was canceled until they arrived at the airport.
2 hours ago, we got the shuttle from our hotel here, only to discover that all Air Canada flights were cancelled. And unfortunately, we had not been given any explanation as per the strike, but we've been on hold, and we've been waiting for an hour and a half to get rescheduled.
If your flight is canceled, Air Canada says do not go to the airport as rebooking capacity will be limited because of the peak summer travel season. Now, for the 4th straight summer, the Battle of LA, not part of the regular season, but the preseason.
It was still solid nonetheless. The Rams and Chargers did not disappoint.
Stetson identifies. Deep drop off play action. Wings one down the numbers. That's a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
Stetson would be Stetson Bennett. Once again showed he's taking to the speed of the NFL game. He was solid again in his third season in the pros. That 38-yard touchdown pass to close out the third quarter, his second of the day, gave the Rams a 2-point lead. But a punt return for the Chargers put the other team from LA up. Stetson Bennett, though, strong, leading the Rams on a game-winning touchdown drive late to secure, once again, another Rams victory, winning 23-22. With more from SoFi Stadium, here's Rob Fugazaki and Roland Williams.
All right, thanks very much. With the Super Bowl champion, Roland Williams. Roland, it was great to see this place alive. Electricity in a preseason game, and these guys playing to win.
It was so much